Well, good afternoon again. I just wanted to give you a little bit of update on the service on Sunday, Easter Sunday. We was closing out and finishing out this Sunday edition of the revival, and the Lord changed the message like 3 times, and I was really moved and convicted on speaking on true salvation, what real salvation was. I went back and I listened to the message, and I don't really know that I made it all that clear, but I wrote down some things, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I happened to come across it, and I just thought, what a message this would be. I want to just read it over. I'm not going to try to re-speak it again, but the title of it was Godly Facts. In the beginning, God. We all know that. God made all creation. He made man in his image. He gave man a soul. He gave man a will. He gave man a spirit. He gave us a mind. He gave us a perfect word. God is spirit, and God is eternal. He desires relationship. He gave his son for man. Here's the verse that I read to the people this morning. It's found in Isaiah 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. I read that verse to the people. I even point blank asked the people if they knew that kind of God that lived in their life. I went in to say that he lived and he died and he rose again. He paid for all sin. He did. He had one mission: to do the will of God. He left heaven behind to fulfill God's plan. He included you in that plan. And you decide your fate of that plan. Now, God wants you to decide in favor of him, but he lets you decide. I let the people know that I was there for them, that if they had any question, I'd be more than glad to be able to help. But I had in my hand a flashlight, and I had took the batteries out of it, and I showed everybody that flashlight, how that we are a container of that light. But Jesus is the power source of our light. And I held the batteries in my hand, and I threw them batteries up in the air 2 or 3 times, just, showing everybody that I had the batteries in my hands. And God is in control of the power source. He's in control of your power source. I let them know that he invites you to himself. I let them know that if they had any questions, they could ask. I also let them know that if I didn't have the answer, I would get back with them, because I don't have all the answers. But I did tell every one of them in there that they needed salvation. And I honed in on salvation. And I believe I was almost redundant in the word salvation. But how can you be redundant on something that is so important? Without salvation, heaven is not possible. We're not going to heaven without salvation. I told the people that he's coming soon. I believe that. I believe he is as near as he ever has been. I believe he's coming back. I don't know when he's coming back. That's what I told the people today. I don't know when he's coming back. But I asked the people, are you ready in the event that he comes again? I asked the people if they would go with him when he returns. You know, that was the verse that I read. Jesus allowed Isaiah to write that Jesus was going to be born some 700 years before the birth of Jesus. I think Isaiah had a pretty good idea of what God had in mind. He allowed me to read a verse that was over 700 years before Jesus was ever born. I delivered my soul today. I felt, to be totally honest, I felt like a blowed up balloon. I felt like that balloon was just so full that you couldn't put another ounce of air in it. And I felt like that somebody just let me go. And that balloon just flew. You know what? Jesus is coming back. I don't know when he's coming back. But he wants to come back for the people that are saved. The people that have salvation. Not fake salvation. Real salvation. Only the people that was there heard the message. Thank y'all for listening.